The dinner has a goal tonight of raising at least $10,000 from each table. And with every $10,000 raised, we will put 2 wounded warriors through life-changing, life-saving PTS treatment programs. And 100% of your donations will go toward helping our veterans.
If you look at the impact of these wars, 3 million men and women served in Iraq and Afghanistan during those 20 years. We lost 7,773 to combat deaths. 1.5 million of these young Americans now have permanent disabilities of some kind. But a jarring number is 4 times the number killed in action, 30,000 died by suicide. That goes on a bigger number of the total veteran population during this period, where we've lost 150,000 veterans to suicide since 2001. And many of these numbers could have been prevented if these veterans had access to high quality care when and where they needed it, and if they had a much better and more effective transition from combat to home. Your military career starts off kind of peacefully and quietly, and then you get orders and you go overseas and you get sent to war. And your life gets turned upside down. In some cases you have single parents, in other cases you have marriages falling apart, and there's everything else in the world, but you've still got to pull that team together and do your job. It's disruptive and scary, and in many cases you don't know if or when you'll ever go home. And then one day someone taps you on the shoulder and they say, it's time, you're going home. But your transition back from America can be quite difficult. And after you're home for a few weeks, you don't really fit in, and you get that feeling like, what am I doing here? You go out with your friends, and as you're sitting out and trying to reconnect with your community, your friends, the guys you grew up with, having a few laughs, nothing seems as funny. And when they start talking about the challenges and problems at work, they don't really seem that important to you, and you just don't feel like you fit in. You're home, but you're not really home. Einstein famously described the silliness of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And I believe it's time we stop trying to deal with this crisis by doing the same thing over and over again. We need a fundamental shift in the way we care for our veterans. We need an all-hands approach. We need to leverage every asset we have in this country.
These veterans have been, and continue to face a really difficult fight. And even though for those that are facing and dealing with PTSD and anxiety and depression and severe trauma incidences, they're still fighting the fight. Their fight is not over. There's this huge need. And we as Blue Angels have this amazing brand and brand recognition and influence. So let's leverage the Blue Angel Foundation. Make no mistake, by being here, by supporting this cause through your treasure, through your efforts, even through your word of mouth and spreading the word, you're saving veterans' lives, and we thank you.